And moving to the next slide, now actually this one is starting prototype or a scope of testing. So we are using here in UID, we are going for the prototype. So everybody by a word, we know what is prototype. Prototype is not the final product. It's just a working module. The one which will help us to understand our product, right? So what is prototype? A prototype enables a design to be better visualized and provides insight into how the software will look and work. It also aids in different defining a task, their flows, the interface itself, and its screen. So when it is some hardware product is there, the prototype is different, right? If your IoT product project is there, and when you will start developing a prototype, it will be a hardware prototype, right? But when it is a software product or software project will be there, your prototype, there will be different types of prototype. But what exactly prototypes will help you? It will help you to understand your project. It will help you to understand your product, because you will be finding how the project will work, what are the different tasks are there, how each task is working, what is the interface between the number of tasks, right? What the input of which tasks will be, output of which task will be given as input to another task. So all those clear ideas will get when we'll start developing a prototype. Then second point is saying that a prototype is a simulation of an actual system that can be quickly created. Yeah, it is when we say the simulation of very big system, it takes a years. But when we say a simulation of some kind of designing, small designing, it can develop fastly. So it's a simulation means what? A imitation of any real system, right? But through a program, through a software. Then a prototype may be rough approximation. It can be such as simple hand-drawn sketch, or it can be interactive, allowing user to key or select data using controls, navigate through menus, retrieve the display of data, and performs basic system functions. So prototype is not a final product, that's why it will be a rough approximation. Then next is a prototype may be a great breadth, including as many features as possible to present the concept overall and overall organization. It might have more depth, including more detail on a given features. Okay, so what exactly the prototypes we have to understand? It is useful to understand our product. It is useful to start our product, through which we can find out what are the different tasks, through which we can find out what is the flow of each task, through which we can find out what are the modules, how they are interacting to each other. We can use different types of prototypes, or we can use different types of methods to develop a prototype. It can give us in the breadth wise, or it can help us in the depth wise also. Okay, so just we'll take today the first one. Let me once check the okay time. Yeah, so we have a time. So let us, what types of prototypes we are learning now? We are going to see hand sketches and scenarios, then interactive paper prototypes, then program, and then prototype oriented languages. So these are the four different types of prototypes. Moving to the first one, that is nothing but the hand sketches and scenarios. So this is where we should start with the hand sketches and scenario, because through this only we can do lot of testing. I mean, not in very clear testing, but we can say that we can develop, I mean, we can find out a lot of insights, or we can find out a lot of system problems through this. So, but when it comes to the UID, I mean, we are just designing the screens, right? How the screen will look, right? Not, we are not going to check with the programming logic with respect to that. Only if the particular app, how it should start, or particular product, when it will start, what should be the first screen, when will they will click on this or this or this, what should be the next screen, right? The way we have seen into that particular that day, the case study we have done, right? There were the screen which is for I mean, so many 12 screens were developed, right? So it all tells how, what will be the first screen, and then on what we are clicking, then how it will go to next. So for all different uh, what we can say, for all different options, we should have the sketches for every screen. So let us go with this type of prototype. Let us start with this hand sketches and scenarios. So what is the description? Screen sketches created by hand, yeah, with the pencil and paper. So generally we'll take a paper and pencil and we'll draw sketches of all the possible screens which will be there. Then focus is on the design and not on the interface mechanism. So this is very important, right? So whenever we are doing this designing, I mean, whenever we are doing the prototype by using the hand sketches, and we are not bothering about the interface mechanism, what interface mechanism will be applying. No, if we are clicking on this, okay, if the user is clicking on insert the data, or exit from the current, or submit the data, something with respect to that. So if he say insert the data, then what screen should appear? So that is the next screen when he will click on the insert. Then how that inserting the data, that screen should look like, and what and all fields should be there, what and all buttons should be there, what kind of menus should be there, which menus should be enabled, which menus should be disabled, I mean menu options should be disabled. So everything which we can make through this hand sketches, right? So focus is on designing, and a low fidelity prototype, yes, because it will not give you a exact feel of final product. Then the advantages, what is the advantages of this kind of prototype? What are the advantages for hand sketches and scenario? You can just, can be very can be used very early in the development process, suited for, can be used very early means definitely it is the way to start with your product. It is the first one to start with your product after requirement collection, after understanding the problem statement for what project you need to develop, what product you need to develop, what app you need to develop. So after understanding that, that will be the first step when the designing team should start with the hand sketches of the all this. So how it should start with. So suited for use by entire team, design team. So it is, yes, everybody can do this, right? Because you, so advantages: no programming skill required, early prototype, easily portable. You can carry your pen papers everywhere, right? Wherever at home also you can work on the thing. In some other place also you can work. So it is easily portable, fast to modify and iterate. It is fast because it's just with the eraser and pencil you are working on that. So a rough approximation often yields more substantive critical comments. Yes, you might have seen that when you will do with any programming, or when you will start with the algorithm, when you will start with the flow chart, you will get lot of things. It will come into picture, like which will give through flowchart. You will get what will happen if this won't work, then you will go for some other decision or something, right? So even though it is a rough approximation, it will give you a good critical comments, then easier to comprehend than the functional specification, and can be used to define the requirements. So finally it can be used to define the requirements, because when you will do work on the first hand sketch, you will, from that time you will get, okay, to for this particular screen, if you are designing like this, then we need a data from this. For this particular object, we need a data for this particular object. And it's always better to you involve the user, at least one or the other user, when you are doing this hand sketching, or when you will finish this hand sketching. You can talk with the user, so you will get more input from the user also, because this is there is no programming involved in this, right? It's just a sketch how your screen will look. So the users also will be helpful in that case. So what are the disadvantages? It's only a rough approximation. That everybody knows, it's just a rough approximation. Even though it is a prototype, this is not where you cannot run anything on this. Even in the simulation, you can try with some kind of input, and you will get some output in the simulation. But on the pen paper, you cannot do any execution or anything. It's just a rough approximation. Limited in providing an understanding of the navigation and flow. You cannot go in depth when you are going for hand sketching, right? A demonstration, it's just a demonstration but not an exercise, driven by a facilitator and not by the user. That's why I'm saying it's always better to involve the user. Limited usefulness for the usability test. Yes, it is limited usefulness, because when we do a usability test, we how will come to know that it is usable or not? Only after, if when you will execute it, will come to know that. So on this we cannot do lot of usability testing. Then the next is a poor detailed specification for writing the code, and usually restricted to most common tasks. So all the tasks we cannot involve for the hand sketches and scenarios. So going to the sketch creation process. So in this hand sketches, it's generally they will say as a storyboard, right? When they will start with the all such kind of hand sketches, generally for each of that they will stock it as a storyboard, and every storyboard there should be a sequence for that storyboard, right? So which is nothing but from when you are starting and how the flow will be. So all that screens, all those sketches should be arranged in that order. So sketch the screens while determining the source of screen information, the content and structure of individual screen, the overall order of the screen and the windows, right? So when you will create, when you will develop a storyboard by doing a hand sketching and by checking the different scenarios, we what and all we should determine the source of screen information. So from where this particular data input will be coming for this particular screen, what will be the contents and how will be the structure of individual screen, and then what should be the order of each screen and the each window. So that will be decided into this sketch creation process. Use an erasable medium, because you may require the changes, so use erasable medium. Sketch the screens needed to complete each workflow task. Try out selected metaphors and change them as necessary. Okay, what we'll do, as it's getting close to my meeting time, I'll just stop here.